Hey everyone, welcome to Front of the Apps. I'm Minty, and this is episode 93 of the Battleship Brawl Season 5 tournament. This episode we've got the Puget Sound by Greyfell going up against the Bismarck by Nutterchap. Go ahead and get the camera in position, and away we go. Back here, see how it's doing. Oh, and of course, just a constant smoke cloud. I can't see anything. Oh, it's okay. It took some hits, but it weathered the damage just fine. Puget Sound 98.3%, Bismarck down to 92.6. Yeah, the Bismarck's cardboard armor does not stand up too well to things. See, like, even just like these glancing hits are opening big holes in the Bismarck's hull. That turret about to take, yep, there it goes. That turret took that hit and was disabled. Puget Sound at 95.1, Bismarck at 82. Uh-oh. Oh no, that whole volley just went for the superstructure. Oh no. Over penetrations, no damage basically. Very little damage. Ooh, that just blew off the propellers back here. Damaged one of the rudders. Bismarck has a lot of holes in her. Puget Sound is doing a lot of over-penetrating. Like in the Puget Sound's shells aren't even like heavily kinetic focused. They've got a lot more HE than anything else in them. This is part of the reason why the Bismarck is so expensive. Look at all that alloy. Ooh, Bismarck taking a hit to its gun there. I think this gun might be... Oh wow, it's actually got some heavy armor on it. It's doing alright actually. Heavy armor is kind of the bane of weapons like the Puget Sound. Oh, this front cannon just got disabled. Yeah, where they're more focused on HE damage than kinetic. Like, there's definitely still some kinetic. But you can tell by the difference in the coloring of the trails. Like, the Puget Sound shells tend to be of a lighter yellowish green. Not all of them, some of them are. Oh, but Puget Sound is having buoyancy issues. Don't give it up now. You've got the Bismarck on the ropes down to 67% HP. You can just stay alive and keep doing damage. Oh, but there goes a gun. Just got disabled. And both of the front turrets are also disabled. That's unfortunate. Oh, but the Puget Sound just suddenly popped back up. And now it's going down again. It's always strange how that happens. But man, there are just so many massive holes in the Bismarck. And she's having even more trouble with flotation than the Puget Sound is. This gun might be underwater just enough that its shells aren't going to hit. They're probably going to fall short. The stern of the Bismarck is just absolutely wrecked. Got a big old propeller bank in there. Puget Sound down to 78.9. Bismarck is 65. Puget Sound ahead by HP, but if it could just do some damage to the bow of the Bismarck, I think it would sink. Just need to open up a few holes. Because Bismarck is struggling as it is. Barely above the water. Just need to land a few rounds up here in the bow. A little bit further forward. Like right in here. Land a shell right in there and you basically win Puget Sound. Pretty sure. You can see a bunch of the Bismarck shells are falling short. Ooh, those high explosive shells landing right on the funnels, blowing them out, so that's some HP lost. It's a shame that, like, Puget Sound has a lot of materials available to it, but it doesn't seem like it has a whole lot of repair bots. Probably could have spent like a good 5k materials on repair bots and this thing would have been a lot sturdier. Is this gun even firing still, or? I mean, it's simply aiming. Oh, yep, there it goes. One of them went anyway. Yeah, these guns back here, they're too far underwater. They're not going to be able to land hits. Because the AI does not compensate for the drag of the water. So it aims as if there's nothing but air between it and its target, and the shells fall way short. Those high explosive, those AT frag shells that are flying though, where are those coming from? Because those are still still landing on target. Oh, they're coming from this guy, isn't it? Yep. That little secondary gun there. I don't know if it's going to be able to continue that at this point though. With the Bismarck rolling over on its side. Oh, the Puget Sound has 42 seconds of DQ time, I just noticed. How did that happen? I mean, it's dead in the water and you can't really maneuver at this point. Both ships are kind of crippled. Well, almost landed a hit in the bow, but now it's a little too late for that because now the bow's out of the water. Well, I guess if it hit and penetrated through and blew a hole on this side, it could end up flooding in. I just imagine the state that the Puget Sound would be in if it had a little bit more repair bots and had actually used those materials to fix itself. It'd be a lot better off. Instead of floundering and struggling. Especially given that most of the okay, kind of the exact opposite direction you're supposed to fire there, gun, but especially given that most of the weapons that are still functional on the Bismarck are unable to hit it. Unable to hit the Puget Sound. Like, it could get some serious repair work done here. Get a whole bunch of HP back. Finish off its opponent. I think only one barrel on this gun is functional. Somehow. Or not. Well, no, that was just a single shot. Yeah, I think that rightmost barrel is actually a little bit smaller than the other ones. I think it's disabled. Oh, but there we go. The Bismarck is finally 80%. Never mind. And it's 80% sinking again. And now it's not. She's close, though. A couple more hits is all it'll take. Meanwhile, the Puget Sound has managed to repair itself back up to 80% HP. And 80% in sinking. Nope, nope. Yeah, there's only a single barrel still functional on the Puget Sound's turret there. Well, the Puget Sound and the Bismarck, they have basically 1 minute left to start some sort of timer ticking on their opponent in order to get that full scoring thing going, but otherwise they're both going to get more points from survival HP than from damage. Which does mean their scores will be rather even, but there we go. That's pretty much exactly where you needed to hit. Now there's a hole leading up into this frontal compartment. Oh, there's actually already a hole in the bow here. It's already flooded. So if it was gonna sink, it would have already. Yeah, they both just ran out of firepower towards the end. And it looks like they're both going to survive. There's no way, there's no time, not enough time left for them to despawn in any way, shape, or form, so, and I mean, now the match is over. That's it, 82% for the Puget Sound, 59.5 for the Bismarck. Go ahead and get things restarted real quick. We'll get on to round 2. That was just really unfortunate for both ships, really. Like, both ships just ran out of firepower. Let's hope at least one of them gets to keep their guns online a little bit longer this time. It was really close, though. I mean, 59.5 is... you can't get much lower than that in HP and still survive. Oh, wow, did the Puget Sound lose a gun already? That's unfortunate. Oh, no, it was just out of its firing arc, I think. Oh, well... Oh, no, they survived. They survived okay. They're still kicking. Some of these have more kinetic focus than others. Like, I don't know how well it's going to come through on YouTube because of YouTube compression, but like just even between individual shells in that volley, there was a big, well, not a big difference. There was a difference in shade of green, indicating that there was a, you know, not insubstantial difference in kinetic damage and AP and or AP. I don't know exactly which one is in charge of the the trail shader. Ooh, taking that many hits in one spot, right in the center. Oh, the Bismarck is barely holding on. It's got like 3 beams holding it together right now. Holy shit. That is really dangerous. The Bismarck is very, very close to just falling apart right now. That was a lot of shells hitting in one concentrated area. There's not a whole lot. There's probably less than 10 beams still, connecting the ship together. But as long as the Puget Sound's not aiming in this area, it doesn't really matter how many there are. Oh man, now this part of the Bismarck is getting hammered as well. Oh, that shell looks like it's coming into the area. Oh. You can tell the Puget Sound's taking some damage because it's not launching the concentrated volleys anymore. Yeah, that gun looks like it's been disabled. Wow, all the guns on the Puget Sound still seem to be working fairly well. Some damaged guns. Oh, I think that front turret just got smashed. Yeah, there's one barrel that might be functional. Yep, a single barrel. It's actually quite even HP-wise. I think the Puget Sounds have been having a lot of issues with over-penetration. This weakened area did get shored up a little bit, but now the Bismarck's out of materials, it can't do any more repairs. Yeah, the Puget Sound is having a lot of trouble hitting the Bismarck right now. It keeps missing. Oh, the Puget Sound just lost a lot of HP, like 6% HP. Yep, there goes a gun. I figured. You see that much HP fall off a ship. Oh no! The Bismarck's 80% and sinking! Is it gonna get any more shots off? Nope! The Puget Sound survives just barely. Just barely. 55.6. Earlier I was talking about how you couldn't get much lower. Well, there you go. That's, yeah, that's 0.7% away from death. Like if those last couple of shells had landed in a softer area and knocked off a few more blocks than it did, or, popped the turret off, we would have had a draw there. Alright, here we go. Third and final round of this match. I bet you those secondaries actually do decently against the Bismarck. Because they don't do a whole lot of damage, but the Bismarck doesn't have much. I wouldn't really call the Bismarck as armor. Can't really see what's happening, because smoke clouds. We will hopefully eventually be able to do something about that. Oh, are those secondaries doing nothing even to the Bismarck's armor? Oh, okay then. Yeah, I saw Greyfell mentioning on the Discord earlier that the secondaries weren't really doing anything. Yeah, I kind of have to agree seeing that. And they can't even damage the Bismarck, which is probably the most papery armored ship in the entire tournament. They may as well not exist. Oh, that's a pretty concentrated barrage coming for that turret. Oh, that is a gun disabled. Did not pop off, but wow, that's a big old hole. Lots of devastation wreaked. Those concentrated volleys, like when the Puget Sound decides to focus all of its weapons in one spot, it hurts the Bismarck. Like, the Bismarck does not fare well from that sort of thing. And then there's the occasional just cram mortar that just kind of rains in and goes bloop. Yeah, I think even just taking out the secondary guns and the cram mortars from the Puget Sound and replacing all those materials saved from those with repair bots would have made a huge difference in the Puget Sound's performance. Because those secondaries are like knocking off like a block every now and then. I mean, okay, they did okay on the superstructure there, but... Anyway, Puget Sound is actually behind in HP this time around. Oh, that turret just got disabled. And the Puget Sound has no guns left. No main guns, anyway. The little secondary that could. It's trying. But Puget Sound's going to get 80% sinking here real quick. Yep, there it is. Called it. It's almost like I've seen a few hundred of these matches. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the round. 0 for the Puget Sound, 81.2, I believe. Yes, for the... I can't think of the name. Bismarck. Wow, my brain just went completely dead there for a second. Wow, that's a really close score. 182 and 181.2. Wow. I mean, yeah, those are the deciding things, and then the despawns. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.